was broken. I spent my younger years not being told that my cousins, I could hold them, cause I would drop them. I was just like a plague. I grew up a pariah, and now I feel like Iroh. And now I feel like I'm out the cage. I'm a dog like God, and got a lot of shit on my mind. I keep it like Prince T'Chaka, that means I stay tapped into the royalty. Shout out to King Yami and the nigga that put me on. That's Black Jesus, no thorns on your crown. I hope it's on the ground. I hope you on the way up. Water to the sails. I don't wanna be slain, I just wanna be gone. I just wanna be me. So you saying that I can't, I know this how to well. Say that I know this how to well. And we all looking like these frogs stuck in a well. If you see me, wish me well. If you praying for my health and brother, yeah, I wish you well. If you praying on my bitch and shit, she gon' get you well. If you praying on my wealth and brother, we gon' get some steps set. Pray for my well-being, pray for my wealth. Pray for my baby, yo, she been going through hell. Pray for my family, yo, they make it out of them. Pray for my family, yo, they'll make it out of them. We just rose to the well, just rose to the well. Shit. Think of myself. Think of myself. I'm sorry. Something to consider.
Error engine 69. Bluefish leaping from the port to the brine. Past the storm, entire winch. Trust no thoughts though, but your own thoughts. Error engine 69. Bluefish leaping from the port to the brine. Past the storm, entire winch. Trust no thoughts though, but your own thoughts, yo.
You can go audition all your sins and leave them at the pulpit. Took a chance as a rapper, pushing passion for the paper. Pin pineapples with lights, I'm lying fast like a bad bag. Hey, out of ooh. Radiation on a rad track and it's jewel. Big green, gassed up, Lucky Charm, rabbit foot. This the type of shit that make you head bang. All stop, head bang, all stop, head bang, all stop, head bang, all stop, head bang, okay, head bang, all stop, 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 head bang, all stop.
Here's a story all about a little man that I met a while ago on some travels down a very lonely road. While I was holding on to something. You never know where you go.
Welcome. Rapidly trouble. Insecurity is mentioned in your world. God is tools to that. That's only trust, which
Usher! Give it a second. Swapping over. There we go. Hello. How we doing, chat? Oh, lorsh. Happy Tuesday. We are back for another round of our Nuzlocke here. I know it's easy. It's very exciting. Oh, it's loading. Yeah, good. Hi, yeah, you're very small and you have so little thumbs. I'm talking to the black box, okay? Do you want to tell them what's up? Tell them what's up, Zizi. She's not gonna say anything. She's just gonna sit here and burn until I take my hand away. Watch. Good morning. Okay, she didn't scream. I kind of thought she would scream. The night's young. Welcome to the stream. We're doing another round of our Pokemon Nuzlocke in Pokemon Shield. Just to remind everybody what the party is at this current moment, we have August, the Growlithe, Taunt. Oh, she's gone to the other side and she's just started headbutting me. The cat IRL, not the Pokemon. Taunt, the currently here to eat damage Stuffle. Doing a great job on it right now. Lady's got some grit. Recently added Gunny Gunthrax. Miggles Rushback, I think, is the name of the character in Starstruck Odyssey in D20, but a reference to that character. His name will be getting changed promptly, as shown on the screen, to Francis, as a reference to both A Bug's Life and also to season 3 of Dungeons and Daddies. Hey Zizi, what's up? Why are you, what is your... Can anybody explain why cats headbutt you? But like, not the normal headbutt. Like, she doesn't go for my feet. She headbutts my thighs. Like, she chooses to stand on her hind legs, get momentum, and go, "Ugh!" Just got done D&D with the wifey and the puppy, and it was so much... what's the last word? So much fun. I can't see it because of the heart. So much fun. I was right. That's good. I was really hoping it wasn't so much ass. That's good. I'm glad you had a good time. Yeah, Zizi. Are you glad too? I think she gets mad when literally attention's on anything but her. She wants a thigh jump. I don't think that's what she wants. I kind of want to hide that one. No. Chill. Anyway, we got Hop's Mom coming in 4th position right now for the squad with the phenomenal ability Cheek Pouch and the great move Stuffed Cheeks, which raises your defense sharply at the cost of eating a berry. I assume it's for attention, but like, my other two cat, like Lolo doesn't get like that because she has a bad hind leg, but Daibo doesn't headbutt my thigh often. If he does, it's because like he's trying to herd me and he wants me to go somewhere. Zizi just... She picks a side, and then whatever side I'm not paying attention to, she goes to that side. And she'll just keep doing it until, like, she doesn't get pet. Like, she headbutts my hand and then gets mad that I pet her. I don't know what to do. Now, fortunately, this game can be played with one hand, so I will continue to pet the cat while I explain. We have Stick, the whatever this is called. Rhythm Rilla, Thwacky. And then we have Etchy the Corvisquire with their unnerving presence. Headbutt the thighs because she wants to sit on thighs and get scritches. In theory, but she also hates being a lap cat. She's such a tsundere. Honestly, she's probably closer to a yandere. That gets confused sometimes. Because I swear she'll kid me in my sleep if she could. I think the only reason she doesn't hurt the other cats is because they're not black cats. She's very territorial, and it's just of me. It's just of me.
Now, granted, my wife's not home right now, so it'd be a shame if some stalker broke in and tied me up. Ooh. But there's like not a lot of time she'll go spend time with her anyway. Like, she is very antisocial in terms of like long-term affection. She'll come up and give you like short-term bursts, get her scritches, leave, right? She will not leave my room at all. Doesn't matter how long I've been gone. She will wait by my door. If I close the door, she scratches at the door and screams. I'm worried that I did something to imprint on this cat by making it an accidental familiar. My hand has not stopped petting her. I have my other hand on the controller ready to play this game, but I am otherwise indisposed. And the worst part is like oh my god. She like really likes getting on the floor with it. Some kind of freak nasty thought. Funk Master Flex. Funk Master. Funk Master Flex. Funk Master. She is a baby. All she is a baby. I remind her all the time because that's how she acts. She's a baby panther who has the power to destroy, I think, a whole community of feral cats if she really put her mind to it, but instead she sits here being as socially anxious as somebody who's never learned how to journal. But like, it doesn't make sense that she should be so socially anxious as someone who's never learned to journal. She's never learned the human language, to my knowledge. Isn't that right, ZZ? Why do you stare and judge me from the corner of the desk? You are a void. Honestly, sometimes it terrifies me to just see your eyes back. They're like perfect marbles in the darkness that hover and judge. See, and then I wax Poetica at you and you yawn, which is just disrespectful, cat. Just disrespectful. Oh shit, oh shit. Growlithe, fuck up that Munchlax. Good job. Alright, let's cook real quick. She is a baby, and I love her very much. My precious baby. Sometimes when like I'm playing games with headphones on, she'll come over and headbutt me. The scariest moment was while I was playing the Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty mission for the King of Coins and the King of Cups, I want to say. I'm probably wrong. Anyway, the point is you have to hide from this big-ass drone that you can't kill. So very suddenly that shit becomes Five Nights at fucking Freddy's in 5 seconds. So survival is a must, and I'm like, headphones on. It's already terrifying. I feel something in real life on my left thigh as the robot gets to the room I'm hiding in and is like, found you. And that's probably when I broke my last pair of headphones, honestly. That's probably how the suction cup came out, because I yeeted them. She was so scared. She was immediately like, what's wrong with you? Why'd you freak out? It's like, ZZ, we were all chilling. Every other cat in this space is asleep. And I swear it's because she wants to make sure I'm okay. Like, I think she's just trying to make sure I'm not having like anxiety attacks or screaming or crashing out. She does it a lot when I'm singing. Like, I really can't wait to get a cat cam again, like almost GoPro style. What I want to do, the gimbal's probably in a different room. I need to charge that motherfucker too. What I want to do is set up my gimbal for the cats. I realized I could do this, and just get like a rotating capture trained on them. Lolo more than likely will be the easiest one to cap, but I need to get them a batch of treats that they'll like before I do that, because they have not taken to any of the new treats. They love everything else from Smalls. Also, hey, this stream genuinely brought to you by Smalls. My cats have improved in mood. Like, I know the ads feel fake, but like, they have more harmony, and I've noticed like the time in between boxes, like I had to kind of stagger them for the holiday. Not because of the holiday, but because like we had a pipe burst and we had a lot of other extraneous expensive kind of pop-up. And we had to dedicate like certain shifts in time and things. I've noticed a definite mood in especially Lolo's. Like, she is more excited. She's jumping more. She's playing more. She's more willing to interact with her siblings, and she does not feel as territorial unless she gets cornered. Like, it's just cool to see, you know. ZZ doesn't like any of it because she's somehow addicted to hardtack. So if you got something for a black cat that refuses to eat anything other than my sweat, Smalls, I'll be very grateful. So shout out to Smalls Cat Food. This episode is brought to you by them. If anybody wants a free code, I have one left. Again, this is not actually sponsored by them. I'm just shouting out Smalls because they hooked a brother up one time. See, I had ordered an extra box by accident. What happened was, I said, hey, listen, I don't need my box yet. We have like 14 of these left in the fridge. One of the cats isn't eating it. Can I please have a refund? They were like, oh yeah, no problem. Give it like 3 or 4 business days. That shit was back in my account that night. I said, what? They said, yeah, can I help you with anything? I said, no, thank you. Shout out to Small, for real. They really, I guess they just really want to see cats living better. Genuinely, the hardest part about them is probably that they have a highly plastic relied, like actual food shipping practice. However, it's evident that they are trying to shift away from that, and it's very clear that sending out the actual like packaged food is proving to be some level of tricky for them. So, but I digress. Tofu loves his greenies. Oh yeah, I do love greenies too. They do like greenies. We do have some greenies left actually. I think I'll use those. You might be running low on them now. I feel like you're running low on those. I know I'm out of the ones. We had a 2-pack because I had one from my room and one from Monica's. Oh shit. Okay, so oh, hey brother, I walked right past you. That's embarrassing for you and me. You because you did it, me because I had to watch it. So I mentioned this a little bit yesterday on stream, I believe. Maybe it was yesterday. One of the many projects that I'm excited to be tackling this year, and this year stretching my growth, like I cannot stress enough how fucking cool it is to be able to yap about things on the internet and have you people like it. Like, genuinely, my friends like talking to me, and that's beautiful. I put a lot of effort the other day into a full hour-long recording regarding a like vertical drama. Do y'all know what I mean by vertical drama? Car line going on, but it's out front, so it's not my problem. Unless somebody got in an accident, in which case it might be my problem. I can't I don't see any lights as this thing on this side of the house, so it may actually be. It's not on a lot, it's probably up front on the street. Anywho's it. So a vertical drama. A vertical drama is a style of storytelling where, oh, you know what she probably wanted? She probably wanted me to kick out my blanket so she could sit down on it. She likes making biscuits there. Her and Lola like doing that. A vertical drama is a style of drama meant to be enjoyed on your phone because it's meant to be picked up via advertising. At its core, it is my present belief that they are made to be predatory by way of being smut, eroticism, and fetish fuel. And by using that as bait, what they're really trying to get you to do is invest coins like Webtoons, any of the other, I can't think, Toonplex, or Tapatoon, and I spend coins, but like there are folks who get like genuinely into a luck draw gotcha hole, similar to even Pokemon TCG, a lot of the Fire Emblem ones. Like a lot of the mobile gaming and the mobile app industry is based on being predatory, right? Because the concept is rooted in, I want to keep you on your phone, not I want to give you the best value. It's I want to keep you on your phone by virtue of turning you into value, right? And I've had the pleasure and privilege. Oh my God, my words today. I've had the pleasure and privilege of meeting a number of people in the game industry, like mobile gaming industry and gaming industry in general, and that seems to be consensus. It's when instead of being dramatic horizontally, you're dramatic vertically. Frequently achieved by when you're standing up and having a conversation. Also, it's a time for me to set up bed. I'm high and drunk and ready to play Pokemon before bed, and I'll probably fall asleep to this stream. You're having a second cozy. That's great. That's good. I'm glad I can offer some cozy yapping. I will likely scream a lot at Hop. I will likely also try and tackle Nessa. We do get another encounter before Nessa. My super secret hope is that we get a singular electric type, or at least a TM, because we can probably teach something to something on the team that I just don't realize to help us get through this next one. Also, the level cap I think jumps pretty drastically. No, it's still at 24. What am I thinking? Alright, let's take care of this Cutiefly, and I think when we're done, we can heal up and we should be good. There's a lot of Korean and Chinese vertical dramas, and they definitely do have a fan base, yeah. There's also like a developing, so it's interesting when you look at the production notes as listed on IMDb, as I've been reading them for the sake of this podcast that no one asked for. You can see that the production team is primarily from like somewhere in China or Korea. I believe China. I don't have proof of that, but they have a lot of names like Shang and Shou and Le Feu, and a few of them were from like America theoretically, but you know, they had very generic Anglo-Saxon names, I guess. Anyway, the point is, the production team is highly diverse, and then like the one that I watched, which is called Miss You After Goodbye, was rooted almost exclusively in, cannot think of what it's called. Oh, I can't believe I forgot. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't yet. Though you don't miss a single alert. What is it called? Oh, Miss You After Goodbye, and it was mostly American actors from what I could tell. Some of them may be British. One of them had a very French name. I need to do a little bit more research into where they're all from, to be honest with you. But the fucking movie was wild. Like, they're essentially just movies that get broken down. They distill what Netflix TV dramas have become even further, where Netflix had this idea of, I should just say, like, most streaming dramas had this idea of, we're gonna do what TV did, but kind of branch it, where we give you a bunch of the same stories you love from movies and sell it in the course of 6 episodes instead of an hour and a half. It'll be 45-minute episodes 6 times, so you don't notice you just watched 3 hours. Roughly. Right? El La Femme. He's great. And so, some backstory. Vertical dramas, soap operas, which is where I want to start with this conversation on this tonight's Yap session. Soap operas are rooted in the actual idea of getting actors on stage, right? Ultimately, a lot of production companies turn back to that above all else, even when they're looking to make money. So a lot of American soap operas, which are still very much running, were just looking to tell stories, get actors on stage, and then get them introduced and inducted to Hollywood. It's almost like a cattle call, if you have any idea what that means. So a cattle call is it is when you call and selling soap. We'll get into that in just a second. A cattle call is when you call a bunch of actors to an audition and they march across stage consistently. It's not formally known as that in the industry, but has become so consistently known as that that people can kind of teach it like such, and it does need some shifting. Basically, there's like 5 of you. You each go in a boat, in a group, and then you keep it across the stage and you come back. And it keeps going like that because you have hundreds of auditions to get through, and you're doing a mass production company audition for a couple different companies, couple different directors, whatever it may be. Sometimes they'll range from theater, film, stage. Oftentimes they'll be just for film. What did I say? Theater, film, stage. I meant stage, film, TV. Boy howdy, I wish I had a fighting type move. Essentially, I did good. I don't think that's gonna matter much, Hop. Essentially, after I'm waiting to see if they survive this, and they did, but we got burned, and so even if they use rollout, it won't matter, and I'm gonna swap out. That's fine. So, after soap operas get kind of rooted in putting characters through the run, other shows start to do that on TV, and other networks start to adopt that practice. It leads to shows like Law & Order and other syndicated anthological shows in the detective genre, I believe, because it's as dark and gritty as a soap opera, but like it still maintains a lot of its almost machismo, which is what ultimately culminates in NCIS, a near ideal blend of the soap opera's drama that never stops in almost an unbelievable way, and the American detective drama that you can't stop taking seriously. And obviously I'm not including in this conversation I'm not including in this conversation telenovelas, right? I'm not including the soap operas that take place all throughout the early wrestling world, and in many ways the modern wrestling world across the globe. But a lot of these productions primarily want to showcase talent. For the sake of getting paid is the rest of the sentence. But they want to showcase talent. And then when it came to getting paid, just showing people the talent wasn't enough. What helps is subliminal advertising. And soap operas can consistently get you thinking about the thing that they're showing. Oh boy, do they love to make you think about soap, cars. It happens in one of my favorite TV series, and this branches all forms of broadcasted entertainment. If you really look, right? If you really look, someone's sponsoring that episode. If they're showing you the brand of the car, it wasn't Greeked. If it wasn't scratched out to make it look ambiguous and not like a brand, someone's selling you a car. Ford or Nissan or whoever paid for that episode. Some of my favorite stories, right? Here's a couple examples. Code Geass, for example, one of my favorite all-time animes. A long time... Bro, shut up, Hop. Shut up. I'm working, sir. I'm just trying to go get my next badge, bro. Out of my way. You've known this for days now. This man's a goofy. This is what pisses me off about you, Hop. You only have the same beat-ass dialogue option. Oh, I should have guessed you learned type matchups. Oh, I should have guessed you'd learn type matchups. Oh, I should have... Anyway. Lolo, how you doing? Why are you on one knee? Don't loaf harder. Don't start making biscuits. Actually, that feels kind of nice. That's a nice stretch. Do your thing, girl. All right, peep gang. Oh, Tot wants to. God damn it. Tot wants to learn strength, not a fighting type move. Now, the only thing that makes this okay in my heart of hearts is that strength is a really good normal type move. But the thing that sucks the most about this Pokemon is its ability, which is Klutz, which makes it incapable of using any held items. Well, you're gonna fall. You always do this, baby. Oh, Hop's mom wants to learn Body Slam. Hell yeah. That's a great pickup. Yeah, and I can have Earthwacky forget taunt. Bro, you're so lucky I can't hit you with any rocks. Oh, you're so lucky I don't have any rocks to throw at you. Fuck you, Hop. Fuck you, get ready to get scolded. Anywho's it. It should be a fighting. I was just about to say that. Rebooted setup. Tea tree oils diffusing, mandarin orange spray on my bedding, fan blowing on me, Stuffy snuggled, age regressed, Pierce on hand, listening, testing, I'm so cozy and crying. I love that for you. Yes, Code Yes with Pizza Hut. We'll get right back there. I just want to finish reading chat real quick. In the Vampire Diaries, they once completely broke the fourth wall to talk about AT&T Wi-Fi. Oh my god. Oh my god. I've learned a couple even better, like wild ones, like really far-fetched ones. Far-fetched. Stuff cheeks real quick, Hop's mom. Oh no, we ate the berry already. That means this thing did more damage than I thought it would. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Check summary. 30, 29, 40, but you're gonna get rocked by a flying type move. Or dark type move. Same with you. 27. 32. Okay, yeah. Same to do against it. Okay. Code Geass with Pizza Hut that's being referenced in the chat here is a moment when it came to America and they had to remove Pizza Hut first. That's the first instance of us over here in the Northern Isles. Northern Turtle Isles, not the Northern Isles, it's a different fucking place. That's when we had to come across. You feel me? Code Geass in Japan got a deal in the second season because one of their characters ate so much pizza. Her name is C2. She's a witch. She's immortal or whatever. She ate so much pizza that Pizza Hut reached out. Pizza Hut Japan corporate reached out and said, we have a business proposition. We know that you all are like struggling to finish making this because of costs. Would it help? We're not even with it. Would it help? We would like to offer a contract. This Corviknight's putting in damage. Fuck you, Hop. Fuck you, Hop. Fuck you, Hop. Ooh, I'm so mad. Ooh, I'm so mad. I didn't want my bag, I wanted my Pokemon. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, I'm gonna whoop this. Oh, I'm so mad. Anyway, Pizza Hut offered them a deal. They couldn't, and also they couldn't refuse. In which they paid to have one, the pizza logo put on all the boxes in season 2, aka Code Geass La Lucha Le Rebellion, and 2, they insisted that Cece eat those pizzas more. So she got more orders of pizza. Even when she lost her memory, Lelouch's answer was, maybe some pizza will cheer you up. I love that show. One of my other instances is one of my favorite TV shows, one of my favorite American TV shows, known as Leverage. Leverage features a number of episodes, almost all of them, tackling, including Leverage Redemption, the reboot here that just started, I think, 3 years ago now. But you see... Give me a second, it's too fun. In episode 1, in the pilot of Leverage, the series, the mastermind character, Nathan Ford, played by Timothy Hutton. Lolo, please stop attacking me. Do you see this, chat? Do you see this? The audacity. These are my drawstrings. This is why I can't have nice things. Sit down. Sit down or watch stuff. Look at Tot kill this stupid bird. Lucky you don't have a Tickaton. Anywho's Hop, leave me alone. You didn't take down a single Pokemon. You need the revive more than I do! This man's a fool. This man's an utter buffoon. This is why the community shits on you, bro. This is why the community be talking trash, bro. Yeah. In Leverage, you watch him pull off in a Tesla. And now, it's before Elon buys the company, so the irony was not intentional. But like, one of the first things he does after a big payday in which they rob a billionaire, because it's modern day Robin Hood story. Go home, Elder Gloss, you're drunk. We got our encounter on this route, I believe. We should heal our Pokemon though. Advertising is rampant in TV, is my point. So there's two big things to consider as I start to yap about vertical dramas. One, advertising is rampant. And two, the bulk of it is just about getting people on stage. So one of the biggest things you're advertising is the person's talent. Okay? Because they're built around the notion of all of these soap opera formats as were found in America when they're advertised to Americans. It should be very specific. The Americanized ones are building their stories very similar to the way soap operas do. Okay? I just watched one, again, called Miss You After Goodbye, that follows two lovers, technically, that don't actually love each other at all. The story is about Neil Wade and Kira Thorne. Neil Wade, who is a undercover astronaut, shut the fuck up and stay with me, and Kira Thorne, who is a rich man's daughter, playing the trope of, wait for it, the rich man's daughter. Now, this will be a quiz later, but does anyone know the difference between a rich man's daughter trope and the rich man's heiress trope? I'll give you a hint. They both have an extra descriptor that I've kind of kept out. Now, I said shut up. There's so much more than an undercover astronaut, okay? Now, Neil Wade, in college at MIT, receives a scholarship from the Thorne Foundation, which is run by Kira's dad, David. David is the real villain in the story. I will accept no other answer. After getting the scholarship, he graduates with flying colors. As he's about to head out, he ends up talking to David, and David's like, hey, listen, my daughter just got broken up with by her man. I see the looks you be giving her, so first up, give me the dap. You make a great son-in-law, brother. Neil doesn't take a second to be like, yeah, but I kind of want to go to space. He goes, that's fair. You did pay for my college tuition, and now I should fuck your daughter if I could. A lot of dumbasses in this story. I'm already pissed off again. After getting a contract from David Thorne, Kira's father, and Neil's future wife, Neil decides that he is going to propose to Kira, and that he should sign this contract that states he will do his best to love Kira, aka David's daughter, and he will do his utmost to provide her everything that he can in the meantime to help her get over her ex. Or at the very least, help her find a way to move on. He proposes that night. She says yes. Because they both dumbasses. She just wants to make her ex jealous. His name is Simon, and he has a worse beard than me. You feel me? Now, Simon belongs to the Hawthorne family or some shit. He's a dickhead. We don't really need to care, so we're gonna call him the dickhead family, okay? You never meet the rest of his family. He just talks a big game and never backs literally anything up. He's hilarious to watch. And the person who plays him portrays a very, very hilarious, version of a fool character, right? Like a Yakumo, or probably as it's now known, just like a useful idiot to move the story along, right? Like a B-tier villain, right? He does a very good goon banter, and in general does a good job of being annoying. Sorry, still thinking about how stupid it is. Oh boy. Okay. Other key people in the story. Kira's sister, Bethany Hawthorne, or Elizabeth, still not sure, still don't care. The person playing her is one of my new favorite actresses, Amara Lefebvre. She's phenomenally good at being this villainous stepsister character. Some of the points in which she displays this massive spite, just chef kiss. All in all of this, Neil, in year one, goes through abuse from Beth as she steals all of the money that Neil gets from Kira, who is supposedly working for the company. It's unclear because she's never seen doing anything other than the second point here in year one, which is flirting with her ex Simon. That's right, fam. She ain't wait at all. She never got over him. She immediately went into a form of neurosis so deep that she started fucking Simon and convincing herself she did nothing wrong in this monogamous entanglement. Now, I'm gonna let y'all know right now, I ain't Dr. Crocker. But you might need to make it 2 + 2 equaling fish in this bitch for that to make sense. I will be using a lot of derogatory language towards some of these characters. I recognize that they're all fictional. However, they display tropes of certain people in our lives that I think that we deserve to harbor a certain level of rage too. Ultimately, also, it's important to remember that the core nexus of these stories require enough wealth to depict almost a mansion. They go back to almost Grecian levels of aestheticism, where it's like, we need a set. Who has enough money to host everybody at their house? Now, Grecian levels were also satirical in a lot of it, and a lot of it was also just done in an amphitheater because that's where festivals were held. But even then, like, the Celts were built to model governors' houses for the sake of satire in some cases. In other cases, it was just because it was the biggest fucking house we could have. I think back to some of the modern playwrights like August Wilson, and oh my god, Euripides, there it is. Like, I was gonna say, I can't think of the woman who did that play. That's not her name. That's the name of the play. Fuck me. I'm not gonna think of it. It's gonna piss me off. Anyway, point is, these characters are a work of fiction, and they highlight a number of tropes and traits that I think are both fun to analyze and get mad about, but I have not found a way to relate to this sort of content in so long. Like, it's very freeing to get back to a point of talking shit on characters like this, because I haven't been able to get into a lot of the reality TV scene, but this, oh yeah, like, if you're gonna script the shit, you know what I'm saying? Like make it a good script. And that's not a knock on reality TV from my mark. It's just, it is an acknowledgement that I don't like those scripts, because they all feel like it's about degrading and ripping apart another person, and that there's no real like positive end. Like, that's fair. Life does not have a happy ending all the time, but I also don't get a lot of schadenfreude from watching a bunch of idiots be idiots on TV. You know what I mean? Like, even in the Jackass area and like in Practical Jokers even, like, and I do enjoy watching those if they're on, but I don't pursue them. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I've not felt the desire to pursue something like this, like a series like this in a minute, or a genre like this in a minute. Anyway, let me get back to the plot of Miss You After Goodbye. So, Miss You After Goodbye picks up with Neil Wade, the undercover astronaut, reflecting on all 5 years of his marriage. It's a very sad monologue that should be external, and a lot of the movie would be solved if more of his internal monologues really just got the fuck out of his head. He in his 5 years with Kira, watches her cheat on him from year one, convinces himself that he will be able to make her love him by the end of the marriage. Sorta is right according to the worst, not the worst, but like the wrong commenters, and you're only wrong because it's very clear that she doesn't, and Neil even states it, right? Like, but we'll get there in a bit because the movie's wild. Essentially, my boy Neil sits in an abusive relationship in which Beth steals from him and dumps milk on his head and hits him whenever she can. Simon fucks his wife both in front of him and behind him. His wife goes out drinking with Simon, which means that Simon knows that she has seizures if she has, I think, epilepsy or something. I'm not sure. They never name her disease. He gives her like soothing sprays on all of her jackets, and even puts all of her medicine in those same jackets, in all of those jackets, so that she has a means of saving her life should she ever have a seizure or go into shock, right? Like, so this bitch been out drinking. She goes out drinking with Simon, and she comes back and she's all tipsy, and she's like, get off my case, Neil, you're so annoying, you should learn to be more like Simon, because this woman is a fucking idiot and the worst version of a whore. So she puts this man through all this hell as this rich daughter character that just has all of this stuff thrust at her, while still believing that the world should treat her endlessly kind, right? So she believes that everything should go her way because no one's ever told her that's not how that works, right? Year 5, Neil can't take it anymore. He gets a call from his boss. You know his boss? Secret NASAX? They call in and they like, hey yo, Neil, listen dog, I know it's been a minute, but dap me up real quick. He tells him, hey Neil, we about to get you back up in space, my brother. I need you to go hit up that Mars project because there's a big endeavor about to take place out there, and we want to see you. His friend, Dr. Bennett, best character and the best wingman I've seen in a while, leaves the space and goes. He could tell Neil has been putting off aspects of his life for a woman that don't love him. May never love him. He knows Neil worth more, but we'll get back to that in just a second, because what happened right after that? He throw it in the trash. He throw the offer in the trash, and his wife come home. Kira come home after been drinking again with his cheating host, Simon. Simon, back in town. He at a hotel. She going to see him later. She texting him actually. So Neil says, listen, Kira, I'm gonna give you what you always wanted. Says this shit out loud, finally gets the internal monologue external, which is why I said a lot of shit can be solved by Neil doing this. Most of the movie starts to fix itself when my man starts to figure his life out. I'm not gonna hold. Neil says, Kira, we need a divorce. He says, Kira, I mean, we're not in love. She's like, okay, whatever. She signs the paper because she's a dumb bitch and the worst version of a whore. She hands the papers back. She picks up the phone to call Simon, says, hey, baby, I'm on my way. Like it's a goddamn Nelly Furtado Timberland opening. They hop in the whip. They dip. Okay. Neil left at the house. He big pissed. He calls his boss, and he's like, I'm ready. His boss is like, Are you sure? Dr. Benet's like, I'm ready right now. Flashback to her leaving the house. What we didn't see in the previous episode, because remember, these are technically written in episodic format, but they structured like a bad movie. So there's too many acts. There's like 8 acts, but ultimately I will be describing this to you like a traditional 3-act movie structure, okay? If you don't know what that's like, typically you get the exposition in the beginning, pretty hardcore about what's going on, a lot of action in the middle that just is supposed to give you catharsis, vindication, some level of fear or suspense, something, whatever the real main course of the movie is. Then the tertiary act descends into what the point of the movie is, what the director's trying to show you, what the actors have to put into the last dying moments of their characters, those who are leading the story for us in the most beautiful way. Anyway, this dumb bitch picks up the fucking phone, and they on the phone, and she goes, why can't you be more like Simon? And he's like, what are you talking about? I put so much effort into taking care. Do you know how much time I spent to even learn how to make meals you want? She's like, whatever, Neil. Listen, you're not even like Simon, because Simon found the star up in the asteroid belt or whatever and named it after my mom because she died. And that was the sweetest thing anyone's ever done for me. And that's crazy to me, because like, he didn't get you, like Simon, who you haven't seen in forever, didn't get you a photo of your mom, didn't share a story at the eulogy. He who has no relationship to space or NASX. Mind you, the story right now that Neil has been telling his current wife, I guess by now she's been divorced, I can keep talking about her, but talk about her like that. Telling Kira, Neil's been telling Kira the whole time, I'm not an astronaut, I'm just a data scientist, babe. And everybody in the family just roasting the shit out of her. Or sorry, out of him. Technically out of her too, because they just wanted to get back with Simon. Beth's a whore, so she's like, get back with Simon. He has better status. He's got more money. He's got a bigger dick because Neil's a bitch. Like, it's just a bunch of toxic shit from her. And she does such a good job not breaking character at all during all of it. So shout out to her. That's how you commit to the fucking bit. Moral of Ferv, baby. Moral of Ferv. When you go from there, she's like, Simon found me the star, and then it's just a bunch of episodes, or not episodes, like 2 episodes back to back of Neil being like, I stayed up all night for you. He's like, Kira, I stayed up all night for you. I found that star. I did countless computations without sleep. I went days without eating. Simon told you he found it? And then they cut to a quick scene where Simon's like, hey bro, you're tired. Yes, no, it's very clear when you're, especially when you have a villain, if I hate you, I should empathize with you, sure. I should also want to punch you in the face. I think I can have both. And again, having empathized with the character that was being played by Maura in this one, like the character Beth, she, like, David is the real villain. Beth did a bunch of shit wrong. Don't get me wrong. Beth, David, and Simon are all assholes. Kira needs help and experiences signs of psychosis. But we'll get there. Neil leaves. They play tennis. Neil gets hit by a tennis ball. He has to go to the hospital, but Simon's a bitch. Don't forget that, and he's a dickhead. So Neil's getting attention from his wife for literally 5 seconds, and Simon falls over like, my tennis elbow. Huh? They get to the hospital. The next episode starts, like the next scene opens. Man, imagine how lucky this guy is to have his girlfriend rent out the entire wing of the hospital so that he can be taken care of just because he got a scrape on the wrist. Wow, some guys have it all. And Neil sit here watching this. He's already had her sign a divorce paper. He has left her. It's important to note that. He sees a stereotypical scene of monogamy. He laments, he mourns in the hospital the death of their relationship. This is the last time he gives a damn. Suddenly his elbow's healed. He's at NASX that same day. He's training that same day. He went to the hospital. Who let him do that? He was supposed to take painkillers. Doesn't matter. He's at Nessex. He's doing the gyroscope. He's doing pull-ups. He's doing bench presses. He on the damn treadmill with the oxygen mask on and shit. He's over here ready to go to goddamn Mars and lead the mission. He ends up acing with flying colors, because of course it does. Of course he does. It's a power fantasy ultimately, and they don't have time for lukewarm successes. The point is to move the story forward, right? Neil goes on. He ends up talking to. I can't stop laughing, man. I can't stop laughing about how stupid it is. Okay, Neil goes on to be like the best astronaut ever. He goes home, he tells Beth he's leaving, tells him he's gotten a divorce and that he doesn't need to care. He goes out for like training for a week, and then they're like, hey, you're doing all good on training, we're about to leave, but it's Christmas, you should go home. He goes home. Oh wait, no, I rushed the painkiller bit. I'm so sorry. Beth does something buck wild first. So that he gets injured at tennis practice, then he goes to NASX, doesn't have the training, gets the Christmas present first, goes to Christmas with the fam, right? Right before that, he had told David, aka the father of these two whores, what the fuck was up, and he was like, listen, I am divorcing your daughter, she's the worst, and your family sucks, and I would like nothing to do with anyone but you because you put me through college, and I like golfing with you or whatever. And that's apparently the deepest relationship I'll ever have in my life. And David's like, I completely understand, I'm gonna go sleep because I had one glass of wine, but Merry Christmas, thank you for being married to my daughter, even if it was only a contract to help her forget her ex. And he's like, hey, listen man, I didn't have to pay any bills while I was saving all my money from NASA. I'm fucking rich. I ain't got no problem. I learned how to cook. I lived a solid life. Before he can leave the party, because of course the father went to sleep, David goes to bed after one glass of wine, bro. Goes to bed after one glass of wine, bro. David goes to bed. And of course, Beth gets up to shenanigans with her bitch friend who looks like the other evil stepsister that was never invited to be in the family. And they're talking shit. Simon and Kira should just be married. They should date. Kiss, 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 kiss. At the Christmas party, bro. Carving the turkey. Now, Neil freaks out, and it's very funny. It's the funniest part of the series, if I'm being quite candid. He drops the phone. He drops the phone because here's the sequence. Beth lies, says, oh, my phone's dead. Neil, can you take the picture so that you feel like a cuckold? Neil says, sure, we're divorced. I don't actually give a shit. He doesn't say that many words. Doesn't say that many words, but he does say, I can take the photo. He takes the photo, and Simon kisses her on the cheek, because they don't show any actual lip kisses in this. Until the very end, actually, that's a lie. But there's a whole big flashback sequence that goes into the next sequence that's like Neil having PTSS flashbacks to Kira leaning away from kissing him for 5 years. 5 years! Hocha! Okay. He flashes back to the present, the phone hits the floor. The next sequence is Beth being like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. The photo is so cute, she picks it up off the floor, she's like, you guys should post it. Honestly, you should post it. And Simon's like, don't, Beth, don't ask another man to post a picture of his wife. And Neil's like, it's actually not a problem. And there's this wonderful water drop mechanic that's used every time that Neil's telling the truth, and like, everyone involved in the family should realize something's off, but they're all dumbasses. Never forget that part. They're all dumbasses and dickheads. Coming to Nickelodeon this fall. No, this is not Leverage. This is a generally Chinese produced soap opera or maybe Korean produced soap opera. I need to look into the country's origin. That is all about an undercover astronaut who should have gone to space 5 years ago. Called Miss You After Goodbye. Like, and welcome to my experience. If you're feeling as invested as I was, like, you're so very welcome. Cause I found this shit. Oh shit, wait. I fucked it up. I found this shit like in the middle of doom scrolling on Sunday and spent a good hour and 45 minutes watching the full thing and went, I simply cannot. I simply cannot. Well, no. I simply cannot watch another one, but I will be watching more of these. Okay, so Neil, and I will be reading the chat here in just a second. I just don't want to get fully distracted, I swear. Okay, so Neil goes on to like start to pull his phone back because it's his fucking phone, but Beth's a lunatic. She's like, I'm gonna post it on Neil's account, because again, Beth is a lunatic and deserved to get slapped so much earlier than when she did in the movie. Don't worry, she does. So does Simon. Neil ends up getting his like phone back, but he gets pushed by Beth, who makes the craziest villainous face as she shoves him into a champagne tower. The tower crashes, it falls, he gets cut, he gets bruised. Kira runs over, actually genuinely caring this time, because Neil very clearly doesn't want her anymore. Remember this point, there will be a quiz. Remember at the beginning when I asked, does anyone know the difference between the rich man's daughter and the rich man's heiress? We'll get back to it. Kira shows concern for him for the first time in their relationship. Neil voices that in his inner monologue. Honestly, this is one of the better ones not to voice out loud because it's kind of savage, and it would have like ruined the vibe of the party overall, and it would have just made him look weak and pathetic. Simon falls because he's a punk ass bitch and a dickhead, never forget, and he continues to scream about his tennis elbow. Beth and her weird friend Ashley Lawrence something scream about it, and they're like, oh my god, Kira, get over here and help Simon. And it's like, yo, y'all are both over there, what the fuck are you talking about? This is insane Shakespearean levels of bullshit. Kira goes over to help them because Beth and her friend won't shut the fuck up. And more than anything, Neil's like, listen, go ahead, we're divorced anyway, have fun. And Kira's like, I don't know why you keep saying that, but that's so silly and it's not funny. I know you're mad, but nothing's going on between me and Simon, which is a bold face lie, and also doesn't matter because they're divorced, and she is on her 5th round of denying it. Stay with me because she continues to deny it for the rest of the movie. Whew. Neil's like, guess what, Kira? The man that you knew is no more. An inner monologue starts. He talks about yada yada yada. I'm going to space. Yada yada yada. I'm gonna change my life. Yada yada yada. I'm going to space. Yada yada yada. I'm gonna change my life. He goes home. He packs what little stuff he has in a suitcase, which does not include his other pair of shoes. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. He has 2, count them, 2 pairs of fucking shoes. This man is an undercover astronaut. He is married to a millionaire's heiress, or sorry, daughter. He like, oh my god. Anywho's it, my man makes a terrible choice of not buying more kicks. He doesn't need like a whole closet or anything, but like there's a whole bigger scene later on. I'll get back to it, I swear. Neil walks down the platform of the new NASX building. He walks in and it's like, good to have you back, Captain. You passed your physicals. We're going to start training, but just reminding you, you will be gone for a year. And he's like, absolutely perfect. I don't want to see my ex. I already told my ex-father-in-law, like, hey, if she asks where I am, tell her that I'm nowhere. I do not want her to know where I am. And this was I'm not gonna lie, Big David, this was a time for you to tell your daughter the fucking truth and be like, hey, I had your husband sign a contract because you're insufferable. And I realized very quickly that you were insufferable. And even before your mom died, I was very aware that you were going to be hopeless unless I gave you immediate help and guidance in finding someone to take care of you, or at the very least love you. Neil went above and beyond. Again, remember that he's saved her life multiple times from the seizure she has and has had since birth, that Simon should know about. Moving on. Neil goes to space. He's gone for 3 days. Fucking 3 days. He's gone for 3 days. She's more active in 3 days than she was in their entire marriage. She calling resource after resource. She calling fucking the group she a part of that she don't really work for or whatever. She calling her dad. She show up unannounced to that motherfucker. She shows up unannounced to NASX, whatever. And she pulls up to his boss and is like, have you seen my husband? And Neil's like, nah. Or sorry, Dr. Bennett's like, nah, I haven't, because you're crazy. But even if I did, why? And she's like, well, I want to see him because like I know he's mad about everything, but Simon, he's just really important to me after he found that star for me after my mom died. And this is when the first slap of the movie should have taken place. Actually, no, this is when the first slap of the movie should have taken place. What should have been when Dr. Bennett goes, huh, you think that your ex-boyfriend who has no relationship with this interplanetary organization submitted that star for you? And she goes, yeah. Who else would have done it? It certainly could have been Neil, my husband I can't find, who's divorced me that I'm in denial about. Never forget that part, because we're about to get to denial number 7 right here. And I haven't been telling you about all of them because I want y'all to listen to the podcast if you want the whole story. But this man says, I want to show you something. And in that scene, he could have chosen, the actor, Jesus Rivera, could have chosen to portray Dr. Bennett as cold and unfeeling and callous, if you will. But he was actually very welcoming with this dumb whore. He immediately is like, I want to show you something, why you should love your husband and why you should understand the pain that he's been through. And that if anything else, if you truly love him, you'll let him go to explore whatever area of this life it is, and he will come back to you if he loves you. And instead she goes, oh my God, he found the star. Simon lied to me. I'm the dumbest bitch ever. Neil doesn't need to apologize to me. He just needs to kiss me. And we're not divorced, doctor. That's a silly angle that Neil's just mad about. He's using it to leverage me because I did that to him in years 3 and 4 of our marriage. Reminder, she signed the papers and just wasn't paying attention because she was talking to the ex she's having an affair with. She leaves. She proceeds to drink herself into a stupor. Don't forget, she can't drink. Because if she does, she'll have a seizure. Guess what? She gets home and she finds the divorce paper again? Because for some reason, it's just being left everywhere. The dad has a copy. She has a copy. Neil has a copy in space at one point that I'm fairly sure they use on the live stream to advertise that they successfully landed on Mars. It's crazy. Neil is gone for 3 days and she's more active than the Scooby Gang. Neil is gone for 3 days and she's having Mugiwara Straw Hat level battles with demons she don't got, and she's espousing forces like it's Spy X Family. It's crazy. It is crazy how quickly she gets active for a man who don't want her, because remember,
This bitch needs to be in denial about the lover for her to crave that lover. And the stronger the care that that man provided, the stronger her denial. Now, this trope only works with characters like the rich man's daughter. Now, are you finally ready for the secret answer to that quiz, chat? Here's the answer to the quiz. If you guess that the rich man's intrepid daughter, or otherwise the rich man's lazy daughter, was one of the answers, it's because anywhere in the XY axis of hardworking, right, and wealthy, if that's our x-axis, right, the character that we're describing in Kira exists in the lower left, right? It exists to the bottom of our y-axis, in the left of our x-axis. So to the left of wealth, or sorry, to the right of wealth, I did that backwards. It exists to the right of the x-axis and to the bottom of the y-axis. So having wealth, but not hardworking at all, okay? That's honestly the fair guess, because at this point in society it should be. However, if I could translate it to a modern term, it would be the CEO of Little Caesars versus most modern, and this is agendered in this context, right? Versus most modern conceptualized billionaires, period, right? The idea is that one works hard, shares wealth, distributes, the other hoards, does not grow, does not think, does not appreciate what they have, right? Is not grateful. In reality, there is a z-axis that comes in with like a moral compass that for a long time in storytelling was being depicted by a very even keel on the XY, but ultimately the Christmas Prince, because the description will make an excellent video in a format like that. Oh, I have to check that out. I'll check out that video. We're gonna forget double hit for knockoff. Now, oh, Francis jumped 3 levels in this fight. That rules. God, love blood tag cooking on, man. Okay. Good battle. Didn't even have to think. Exactly. Now, we'll get back to that comparison. Now, most modern billionaires are supposed to be depicted by the Kira camp, right? Ultimately, these tropes are the hardworking, earnest, from money daughter, or from money character, right? The Duchess, the Knight Captain in feudal settings. In science fictions, it could be the captain of a herald and rugged ship. In some more grounded, so to speak, and less fantastical fiction, it could be a character who works as a detective or works in a diner even, but owns the diner with her father or mother and works there as like sort of a nepo baby, or someone who works with a production studio or a massive Fortune 500 company like Goldman Sachs or JP Morgan, but also is like the daughter of the people who run the company, and at this point is running her own branches of the company in a way that she is her own like major force. Right now, there's not an idyllic translation of that same exact one-to-one to this story, but in this case, what we're really trying to highlight here is that Kira is this spoiled princess, right? While Daisy Nash, the true love interest of Neil, our protagonist, Neil Wade. Neil Wade is his full name. She ends up being this richer than Kira and Beth combined character. Kira and like all the families we met so far, combined character, who also genuinely just loves Neil for who he is and has loved him for the whole time or whatever. We'll get back there in just a second. The ultimate wild parts of the movie are like Neil getting shoved into a champagne tower. He goes to space. While he's there, Kira has been drinking herself into a stupor. She gets straight up like neurotic. She has a psychosis breakdown where she's like, Neil did not divorce me, Everyone telling me that he divorced me is against me. Neil will be home any day because none of the maids make food that I like. Only Neil can feed me, and Neil wouldn't leave me. Again, 3 days after he leaves. More active than a Mount Everest search party. She ends up taking the time to do she ends up taking the time to do what every woman would reasonably do if they had all the money in the world or whatever. She sent out a $67 million reward for the finding and discovery of her husband. Now, there's a whole plot point that keeps going that apparently Neil had to hide his identity, like, for the sake of not being killed by spies or something. I'm not fully sure on that one yet. He ends up keeping his identity hidden from the world. So like, even like anyone outside of NASX or the Nash company, they have no idea who he is, right? So when she puts out a multi-million-dollar reward to discover where he is after her sister frames him, he again is not on planet Earth, so she just wastes a fuck ton of money. And she starts to panic even before getting to the point of finding him. And what happens? She starts to have a breakdown because once again she finds the divorce papers. She's like, oh my God, this is real. And she starts to have a breakdown. She has a panic attack and she reaches in her pocket for anything that can save her. And she finds her emergency inhaler because what did I tell you at the beginning of this rant? That fucking Neil puts that shit in there so she don't die. In all of her jackets because she's the dumbest version of a whore. The worst version of a whore. So she gets saved by Neil. She says, I guess Neil still loves me. You would never leave me. These divorce papers are fake. She rips them up. Everyone telling me this is fake. And this is denial number 15, y'all. She continues to drink. 6 months go by. Beth comes over and she finds her drunk as shit on the floor. The news is on. And she's like, Kira, just get cleaned up, please. Like, I'm coming back over in a bit. She leaves again. Kira's watching the news. She's like, would you really leave me? As Neil is landing on Mars and doing the walk-by thing, and we get to see all that in pretty bad SFX and CGI that are just fun to watch, and by the end of it get kind of believable because it gets really intense. But Neil's up there, and he's talking to his astronaut friend, Jimmy, I think, and Jimmy's like, hey, Captain, as the leader of our voyage, we are going to launch a live stream to explain what's going on. We'd like to show you everything that we've done so that you can be able to see what's happening and so that you can report back to Earth, because it would be fair for you to have a few words to say. Starts recording a live stream via like a sat phone or whatever. Conversation starts going. He's like, this has been a major step for humanity and I'm just so eager to be able to take this step. And he's being interviewed by an actual like news anchor or something, you know, things that should happen when an astronaut lands on the moon for the people that like his home country, whatever. He's being heralded as a hero already. All they know about him is that his name is Neil Wade. Now, here's the other big red flag. 1, bitch, why didn't you know your husband only had 2 shoes? 2, bitch, how the fuck don't you know your husband's last name? 3, bitch, how the fuck don't your sister know your husband's last name? 4, bitch, how a man who's fucking you on the side don't know the nigga he should look out for is 4 fucking... Motherfucker got me pissed off. So, famous astronaut Neil Wade on the TV. Everybody in the world talking about him for a while, including right now, of course, during the live broadcast. Now, Kira does what any sane ex-girlfriend would do, which is call him on Mars, because she's not sane and she's a millionaire or whatever. So she sends so much money. So much money she sends however much money it takes to get her talking to Mars. Classic tennis elbow. She goes on to talk to him on Mars because she's insane. And she drops about however much money it takes to talk to an astronaut on Mars on demand. She gets on the horn, and he's all like, oh, this is awful. I don't want to talk to her. Because obviously they get the full name, and it says, we have Akira Thorne wanting to talk to you. She has a couple questions. And before Neil Wade can be like, famous astronaut, and leader of this expedition, to be like, I don't want to talk to her. She's my ex. Hang up the goddamn phone. Astronaut Jimmy, the worst wingman in the series, fucking puts her through just cuz. And she immediately opens with, hi, Neil, it's you. I've been looking for you everywhere. Where have you been? Why didn't you come home? I'd recognize your voice anywhere. Neil, please. I know you're mad about Simon. Bitch, this is national television. Why are you airing our affairs in national television? That's insane. That is fucking batshit insane. But again, remind yourself, she's going through and displaying signs of psychosis and neurosis, and it should have been evident earlier to her father, who should have been more present in her life, which is why David is the real villain of the story. I continue. Kira Thane, or Thorne, whatever the fuck her name is, calls Mars. Mars answers. Mars lies. Neil says, I'm not your husband, sis. And then he starts spitting some real good game. She's like, Neil, why are you doing this? Why are you so mad? Neil, please, just forgive me. Just forgive me, Neil. Oh, fuck yes, Chinchou, fuck yes. Yes! Knockoff? Please don't kill it. Okay. Neil gets real like philosophical with her and just gets down into the gritty of what she needs to know. He says something along the lines of holding on to the past is like trying to hold on to grains of sand. It's coarse and it gets everywhere. Honestly, yeah, let's try it. Neil manages to get through the conversation without a lot of trouble or blowback, and they end the live stream suddenly, like in the middle of it, because again, it's insane thing to do to talk like that. Classic Chinchou. Classic Chin Elbow. I'm naming this thing Chin Elbow. Ooh, I don't know who to swap. I think I'm gonna swap the Corviknight. Yeah, Chin Elbow. We don't have anything to deal with fairy types directly. We don't have a steel type, but Corviknight's not a Corvisquire is not a steel type yet, so we still don't have one. Add to my party, and I will swap. Like, thinking about what each of these Pokemon do, Edgy does offer some solid defense, but I think what we need more than anything is a wider variety of move. Maybe I just send Taunt back to the boxes, because it's not really doing much. It had a few hits against Hop there, I won't lie, actually. Actually, I'm gonna deposit Hop's mom for right now, because what I need to go do is get more berries. So we'll wait until I get back to whatever city. Forget where I'm supposed to be. Also, I should record all this stuff. I've beaten Nessa, I got a Chinchou. We're gonna go heal up. Okay. Back to the bullshit. So, after Neil gets back from space, he is lauded as a hero for leading an expedition to Mars and not dying on re-entry. He is lauded as a hero for being one of the first people to land on Mars. Like, he's lauded as a hero for leading the expedition. Like, and he gets a medal, and his ultimate wingman, Dr. Bennett, is like, hey, my brother, I'm so glad you ain't die on re-entry. Dab me up real quick. They dap up, and then Dr. Bennett's like, hey, my brother, guess what? I got somebody for you to meet. She's the leader of the Nash Corporation that's been donating most of the money to our NASX fund to be able to get to space. Furthermore, she's also the one that's been primarily interested in your success in your campaign. She also fine as fuck, is she right here. I hope she can show you around this hotel that was donated to her by her father, who runs multiple international corporations as well. Now, this is again ultimately a billionaire's glazing stone, so not a lot that should be admired about it. Ultimately, they meet each other, they fall sort of in love immediately, they touch hands, she's wearing a lovely dress, he's an astronaut and super buff. They drive past Kira and her family on the way to the hotel because they're also going to the function, because Simon's dumbass has a job with the Nash Corporation now. Now, while they're getting into the hotel, Neil is telling Daisy Nash, his new heiress girlfriend, note that I said heiress, we'll get right back to that in just a second. He's telling her all about it. Like, hey, this is what I'm like doing here, what I'm really excited about, like, and these are the people that ruined my life basically for the last 5 years. And she's like, I'm so sorry, you should tell me more, like, you're a brilliant man, I'm sorry you had to go through that kind of sucks ass. And he's like, wow, no one's ever been nice to me before. So Kira starts believing she's been hallucinating Neil because she sees him in the car, she sees him in the hotel, then she realizes that he's actually here. She doesn't stop, not nary once, to ask what he's doing here. Nary once does she go, what are you doing here? She just starts berating him. Why did you leave home? Like he's some kind of pet. You got out and you got lost and I was worried. No one's been cooking me meals. I haven't been eating because you haven't been home. Come home already. You love me and you're my husband. This divorce angle is stupid as hell. You made me sign those under duress. I'm gonna call the cops and have them break down your hotel room. All kinds of crazy shit. And eventually Beth and Simon come over and they're like, why are you freaking out? Why are you hallucinating by this hotel room? Daisy sees all of this and decides to hatch an evil plan, which is very cunning and I love it for it, to have Simon be the contract signee for the contract that NASX and the Nash Corporation are going to sign together. Long story short, Simon walks into the room with Beth and they're like, why is Kira like this? She should be fucking me. She won't let me fuck her. She only wants to talk about how we're friends and now she's waiting for Neil to come home, right? Like, because again, she only misses him after goodbye. Okay, that's the whole point. She missed Simon, but she only really missed Neil after goodbye. Oh. I'm gonna grab this odd incense. I'm gonna grab this wave incense. And I'm gonna grab pure incense and a luck incense. So my man Simon is feeling his ego. He's feeling his ego. And Mike, this is not the husband. This is the man she's been cheating on the husband with. This is the man she's been having an affair with, who's like, why won't you just fuck me already? Oh shit, I would love a crock. Repeat clause, can't get a chul. Yay!
Alright, let's see if we can actually get it in a Pokeball without losing anything, though. I should swap. Oh my god! Yeah. So the night of the thing, Simon tries to fuck Kira. She pushes him away because she's addicted to her husband that don't want her. Oh, that's unfortunate. Let me actually swap out real quick. I could have used a quick ball. I'm a fool. Yeah, 69 minutes. Let me just go for a little bubble beam here if we can. Neil ends up going to sleep after flirting with Daisy Nash for a little bit. They chill. Everything's chill. Neil walks into the banquet hall and sees Beth and Simon. And Beth and Simon start crashing out immediately. What are you doing here after you robbed our family? Because Beth's gonna, ooh. Beth knows that if he gets anywhere near worried of new pursuit. Beth knows that if he gets anywhere near Kira, the Kira will find out that Beth stole the money, and Simon's worried that Kira will just want to fuck him because Simon's an idiot. So they end up berating him. They push him. They slap him. They grab him. Simon tries to call security several times, says all kinds of shit, break this guy's legs, so on and so forth. Daisy Nash walks in with security, and they're like, get this woman out of here. She's just a whore that's here with him. They're insulting her. Beth pulls her dress and rips it. Kira's like, I find it rude that you're cheating on me with this bitch. And Neil goes, bitch, you cheated on me for 5 years. We're not married anymore. I need you to leave. Like, Daisy, cool as a cucumber during all of this. Sitting there like this. Her actress is so prim and poised. It's beautiful. All the while, this dude walks down the hall, who's like the supervisor for this meeting that everybody knows. He walks in and they're like, oh, that's the guy that's supposed to be supervising the meeting, but everybody knows because they just keep saying exposition out loud. This man walks in. What does he do right away, chat? He backhands the shit out of Simon, and he backhands the shit out of Beth, because both of them are still talking smack. They're like, oh, thank God you're here. We don't know what you would have done. This imposter is pretending to be Mr. Wade, like pretending to be the famous astronaut. Like, we've tried to get him to leave, but he just won't. Like, don't worry, we'll have security come over and break his legs. That's what he needs. And again, my man go, bop, bop. Shut your insolent mouth. The only thing wrong here is how ignorant you could possibly be. And he turns. What does he do, chat? He turns to Daisy Nash and Neil, and he goes, I'm so sorry. Basically, long story short, those three idiots get kicked out of the party, except Simon comes back with a gun? And he tries to shoot Neil, setting back space achievements like decades? Quote saying, you ruined my life and took everything from me, so now I'm gonna ruin yours. Bro, you fucked my monogamous wife. You pulled me in and said your wife has a banging bod, quote, and her ass fits great in my hand, like you were some preparatory frat boy. You're 38, bro. Banging bod?
So needless to say, Simon gets his ass kicked after that, and Kira jumps in front of the bullet, and she gets shot instead. No, Neil does not fall in love with her because of this. He, in fact, decides to move further away from her than ever before. And he knocks up Daisy Nash immediately. Like, the next scene says a year later, and Daisy is fully 9 months pregnant. She like, what? And she is like, I'm so glad to be married to you, my astronaut husband. Now that you're no longer secretly undercover, we can be boldly in love and have another baby when you get back from space, as long as you don't die on re-entry or any of the many other ways that people can die doing space travel. And then, because that's not how it ends, it does not end with Neil's happiness. This is about Kira's disgrace because she is playing a trope. And we'll review here in just a second. Also, this will be Wiley Wick. I don't know why. She looks like a Wiley Wick. Also, add to my party, please, fucking immediately. Goodbye, Tot. You did so very good for so very long. Place the item in my bag. Wiley Wick, welcome to the party. Cannot tell you how excited I am that you're here. Still mad at the Bang and Bond shit. Okay. This movie ends with the punishment of the two... the worst character in it and the most... the one who really should have just gotten her shit together at any point and she would have been fucking fine. David and Kira. It ends with Kira in a hospital bed, in a gown. And as we watch just her hands and like a shaky cup with pills... and her dad, David, walking down the hallway. We see him in full view as he enters her hospital ward and enters her room. And she is in the psych ward, and he goes in and he says hello to her. And she says, "Oh, Dad, is Neil coming home? Cause I know we fought, but we should be making up. It's been a year. It's been a year. It's been..." And she decides in that moment, when her dad's like, "Kira, you have to get a grip of yourself. Neil's been dead for years." He's not dead. He's in, wherever. He's in space. Not wherever. Like, he look it over it. He pulls her in and is like, "Sweetie, you have to take her meds." She throws the meds. She takes the iPad. She's like, look, he's coming home soon because the jet's gonna go up, but he's not gonna be in it. And when it does, she starts smacking herself in the face with an iPad to the point that she bleeds. And her dad's like, "Get a fucking grip." Which is real helpful, David. Real good thing to say to your fucking neurosis-ridden daughter while she's in the psych ward. That's what she needs to hear. And she goes, "Oh, he's really gone. I'll never recover. I'll never find another man to love me." Because she only gives a shit after he's gone. And that's Miss You After Goodbye. A movie in which I learned nothing and just was angry until someone got slapped. And someone should have got slapped much earlier. I would have been fine with that movie if I never saw Kira again. And like, if I didn't see her to the very end of the movie, if it wasn't all about how much of a bitch Beth was and how much of a dickhead Simon was. But I also remember that the whole point is selling it on Instagram and selling it on social media platforms that are based on vertical scrolling, so phone-based scrolling. And please do look out for the podcast that will be dropping here later this week. Like I said, I spent an hour and a half, much like I did tonight, just close to an hour and a half, just talking about how much fun I had watching it. Like, again, ultimately, a lot of it boils down to tropes. A lot of it boils down to the ability to highlight tropes, and it's one of the things that, as art continues to develop and our human society continues to pull from the grand universe of it all, especially in comics and anime, like, we're watching a reevaluation of trope and a re-exploration of certain tropes. Some of the more common ones are villains that are empathetic and of high moral standard that make the hero question their dumb, idiotic life. Sometimes it's both to very moral characters that are standing juxtaposed to one another, like depicted in the Shen comic about this very topic. But in this instance, we're talking about two love interests, one that does not show up until later, but does show up in the way of it being space and shoes. I'm not being goofy. Like, one is literally intangible and is about the concept of love and relying on monogamy to find a root and a connection to things, and the other is about, like, what the tangible thing is and what they do for us, and the thing needing to be in front of us for it to be real. The character of Kira Thorne is there to be incapable of believing in potential, right? Like, she needs forgot that was a stun fisk in this motherfucker. This could really be a number of things, so we're gonna do one of these. But ultimately, this trope can be found typically in stories that highlight the importance of being earnest, and the belief that doing your utmost should be rewarded. So at its core, you know, we're not talking about Oryu's Palace, like, we're not talking about people like that. We're talking about Quasimodo in some ways. But what makes this a little bit more fun for me is the fact that it takes place between, again, two parallel lovers, really displaying this. It takes place in 101 Nights, aka the story of Scheherazade. It's one of the stories she tells. If you haven't read into that at all, I highly recommend that you do. Both the opera is beautiful and just like the ballet is beautiful, and Scheherazade just comes with so much story, good story nuggets that can be useful for anything. Oh, juked you, idiot. Is this just yeah, this is a surf spot where I can go fight that Gastrodon that's supposed to be Lapras. Haha, juked you, idiot. Let me get this item. I'm still gonna come fight you. Yeah, I stuck up on you. Now, ultimately, there are three core tropes that I really want to talk about just on stream. I'll be talking about all of the tropes portrayed, including some of the supporting tropes in the podcast, and highlighting why those tropes are good almost character acting exercises, and why I say that the nature of these series is to help people get their acting skills promoted, because it demonstrates how much breadth and how much width your performance can have, right? Make Some Noise, actually, the hit Dropout TV show, does a similar thing that I don't think Sam Reich and the rest of the producers on that show get enough credit for. Like, there is actively an element of it that works with an intentionality to be like, what can I play to these characters' strength, like these players' strength for? But especially it makes some noise. That it's like Sam will pitch it like, oh yeah, I just want to laugh at this, but realistically, he's giving them pitches that helps them build a fan base, and then not only that, helps them build a performance reel, and I think it's brilliant. And if he hasn't looked that far into it, maybe he's stumbled into gold, but I don't think most people do. Stumble into gold, that is. Now, back to the point here. The three tropes I want to highlight today before I stop talking about it, because I'm getting bored of talking about it, and I know I'm going to have to do it again for the podcast itself. Number one, I want to talk about the trope that we haven't talked about, which is the trope that's present in Neil's character. If you weren't paralyzed, I would be worried, but I'm not, so die. Neil's character is what I personally call the undercover prodigy, but realistically is the caricature of the prodigal son returning, right? He is someone who is there to help you see like what an honest and earnest hardworking person can look like. You're supposed to feel empathy for them, for the torture that they endure almost from people in the world around them that don't see their greatness. In Neil's case, that he's an undercover astronaut who only owns 2 pairs of shoes. And furthermore, his archetype is added with this little benefit of the decided genius, right? Like his credentials are backed. He has a doctor that is his boss that can tell people he is famous. He elects to not have people know for national security or whatever. So there's this aspect of him that doesn't make the cut for a lot of people because they take him for granted. Hence the, again, part of the title, Miss You After Goodbye. But his like back expertise puts him in a position to be able to do things like guarantee that he's a bomb astronaut and then go to Mars. Like he also is the best chef that his wife at the time, his ex-wife, by the end of the movie, had ever known, with intention, right? Like this is all with intention. So when we think about nice lashes, why? Oh, don't use a critical. Good job, chin elbow. Get thunder waved, idiot. When I'm really looking into like what's making me critical of this series, I'm gonna hope that was also oh, never mind, go for Wooloo this time. It stays up. We get a thunder wave off. Both of them paralyzed. Which is one of the reasons why when you use the prodigal son, you kind of have a lot of different pivot points. You can do the prodigal bandit son. You can do the prodigal scientist returns, which is what Neil is in this example. You can do the prodigal warrior, which is... Don't die. Oh my god! Alright, get out of there, fam. You can do the prodigal daughter, the prodigal ninja daughter. Like, there's all kinds of storytelling that you can do. Hi, Malcolm. I'm talking about this stupid series that I watched, relaying all the tropes that were present in it.
I'll support you.
Thank you.
I'm hungry.
You want me to cook?
I don't know what we can cook.
We have stuff in the fridge, I think. Okay, well, do you want to order a pizza then? Okay. Let me make sure that... Good. One sec, chat. Get the handle food. Feed the wife. And then maybe feed the cats, because we're getting antsy.
Alright, let's feed the wife. There's food down there. I saw it.
The prodigal cat. Actually, there technically is a story archetype called the prodigal cat that is existing in the series Ella Seed. Yeah, alright. Yeah, this is your budget. Make that work?
Yeah.
Yeah, I trust you. You know what I want. No, I trust you. You know what I want. Either pepperoni and peppers, or sausage and black olives, or mushrooms, whichever one they have. There you go. Oh, that Wooloo died. Hop may never recover. Okay. So really actually taking a second to respond to this in the chat, and then I will actively go back through all of the messaging chat here once I do the final 3 of the 3 tropes that I want to describe. As seen in TV and also in the webtoon series, get paralyzed, and that's why we did it, because I knew it knew quick attack, or I figured that both of those opening Pokemon would. Shock. So, when we talk about the prodigal son trope, and in this case, the prodigal scientist, the prodigal genius scientist, rather, because you have to add genius, because he's not just a hard-working scientist. He's a hard-working genius scientist. You have to say all of it, which is annoying and does get ridiculous. We're gonna forget flatter for sucker punch. So when we talk about this trope, and in the chat Tychus jokes about the prodigal cat, I refer to Elseed, spelled ELCEED, and I'll actually type that in the chat because it is a good series for those who need one to read. Fairly wholesome, fairly straight passing in a lot of ways, so most of the story does center around a lot of heteronormative issues, and does have a bad habit of making fun of certain short-haired characters' temperament to feeling like she's not feminine enough. But they also do a nice enough job of acknowledging that's an issue people do have, and talking about it, and being very transparent about, like, hey, we want to tell this story about this young man and his mentors, which is a lot of fun for me. I haven't felt a series like this since The Breaker, and I'm very worried for when they break up the boy band, and those of you who know really do know. Anyway, Elseed, I forgot an E, hold on, it is absolutely ELECEED. Is a series that features a recurring problem with this character who had to become a cat for safety reasons, and in doing so has now convinced 2 other very powerful people to become cats as a means of training, like a shonen jump level of stupidity. But it is the myth of the prodigal cat. He is one of the best fighters in the world. It is the mythos of the prodigal warrior. Okay? The prodigal son becomes the prodigal warrior. He had to become a cat. Now, the term prodigal is really just about prodigy. It's an agender term for prodigy, someone who is exceedingly talented at something, and therefore is regarded for that ability to do that thing, which is why I'm really stressing genius scientist, not just prodigal scientist. If he was the prodigal scientist, he would be acknowledged for being, whoa, he's really smart, he is an astronaut. But no, he is the astronaut, like the best one. Okay, so he gets that extra adjective. Now, mind you that these adjectives don't inherently shift a lot of the plot by virtue of, how to say, I don't want to call it accident, because that doesn't feel right. It's like they don't shift the plot by virtue of trying, right? In a lot of cases, they are not the protagonist, right? In a lot of cases, they are offshoots of the protagonist that are suffering for some reason. In Elseed's case, the character's name is Caden. Caden has the handicap of becoming a cat, and therefore him being the prodigal cat is about as much of him learning to accept having to be a cat. Oh my god! Oh, I didn't think you'd be 5 levels higher than me. Oh, I didn't think you'd be 5 levels. I didn't think you'd be 5 levels higher than me. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, I didn't think you. Oh, I didn't. Oh, didn't. No, I didn't. Yeah, we just need to leave. We gotta go. We just gotta go. Yes, a hardworking idiot will always be the hardworking idiot. Wait, I think ultimately this trope is best used to depict characters who, you know, don't always believe in themselves. Oh, you okay? Okay. These tropes are best used to depict characters who don't always believe in themselves, right? So oftentimes they are characters like Neil, but they're also characters like I guess technically Jiwoo from Elaseed, who has the cat mentor in Kaden, but I think it's closer to like Quasimodo. Run! That guy wants to fight. Hup. Oh yeah, we should do a little bit of training in here. Let's put Stick up front and just beat the ever-loving shit out of this Binacle. Technically Lelouch of Lelouch v. Rebellion, and sometimes it's not about having them start with the doubt, it's about them building it to the doubt, right? Like, Lelouch eventually gains an added bit of power that he was always supposedly owed, right? It was truly his destiny, right? Because it did stay in the family, and that was part of the reason why he got it. But he constantly has to question himself. He's constantly put into positions where it's like, am I making the right choice? I feel like I am playing with the lives of those around me. Am I just becoming my father by doing these things? You see it often in sports series. iShield 21 comes to mind, where it's like, he's one of the fastest people in Japan, but the whole series for the like several seasons of the animation, he is doubting himself, which is part of the reason why the series didn't end up sustaining, in my opinion, via animation. Because like the energy of every other character fully outstrips Senna, and it's really hard to root for him off the field. You know, you got some other characters in this category of the Prodigal Return, right? Or the Prodigal Rising, right? In general, think about these as an umbrella, right? So the top of the umbrella is the prodigal, right? The filter starts with someone being a prodigy, right? The prodigy returns, the prodigy begins to believe, the prodigy learns to do something else. Honestly, the prodigy struggles to do something else is also a prodigal son returning trope that is a lot of fun. Sometimes it's like, the prodigal son is a great killer, the assassin wants to be a daycare nurse. Like, there's a series called This House Husband is Way Too Scary, or it's like a former Yakuza or something. I forget what the series is actively titled, but it's hilarious, and it covers a former Yakuza who ends up like being a house dad, and he's really good at it, but he's terrifying, and that becomes part of the rib. Other examples do include... I'm going to charge here. Other examples do include shows like... other examples of tropes in this one that I really want to cover. We talked about the prodigal son, the prodigal genius, specifically, and the prodigal genius scientist, undercover astronaut, all of these monikers that he does not need. Now, the two that I've been highlighting the whole time, the rich man's daughter versus the rich man's heiress. Now, any of the attributes that I'm about to describe can be applied to either of them. However, I've observed that when someone's trying to tell a misogynistic, patriarchal view story, they tend to highlight it by way of the man's daughter being the lens into that man's ineptitude as a father. Okay, this is evidenced in in Miss You After Goodbye, and I'd like to highlight two specific examples of both of the characters that I'm going to be talking about here. The rich man's daughter, in this case, being Kira Thorne, and the rich man's heiress being Daisy Nash. Now, the notion of an heiress to me carries an intention of work, of a title, of a moniker that you are succeeding, right? That could be that you are the daughter of a CEO. You could be the daughter of a duchess. You could be the daughter of a Amazonian queen. Like, it really does. It just, both of them fit into the Nepo baby category. And in some ways, all of them come into like the heir, like the rightful heir category under that umbrella. But that is also very different, right? That implies that there is a struggle for succession, which is not present in these tropes, which is why they've been sorted into the two baskets that I have them in: the rich man's daughter and the rich man's heiress. Now, in the case of the heiress, it really is just the heir trope. That is in a category of its own. The rich man's daughter is in the rich man trope in my mind. This is a group of tropes exclusively about the ways in which... give me a second, I don't want to get my bird killed. The rich man's daughter is a trope, the rich man trope, or the rich parent trope, is often about the ways in which they neglect their kids, often there to highlight the issues of society by reflecting that even the top have issues that like a lot of the bottom 99 do, and further that if we continue to idolize the top irresponsibly, we'll never challenge them and it will lead to bad children and bad raising. A lot of them are rooted in Confucianist ethics and a lot of Buddhist storytelling, but a lot of Confucianist, Monksist, and Laosist ethics, which is like, be a good person and be patriarchal. So a lot of them end up being rooted in the rich man's category, which is why so many of them end up being rich man stories. Some of my most immediate coming to mind stories for this, you're a rich girl and you never around with your old man's money. Pause. Fooling around with the old man's money, fooling around with the old man's money. I don't give a damn about any of the rest of the words. The song starts with, you're a rich girl. The assumption there is then that this rich girl, like at least in a modern context, has some of her own money. That's just where we've arrived to, right? Right, we've hit a point now of enough artists being able to talk about having money, being players, being bosses, being hustlers, whatever, that a lot of it is being received, at least, well, a lot of it is also still being like pushed back on by people who have stupid pea brains. But like, ultimately, these stories reflect some of the bootlicking behavior that we're sort of railing against out in the real world, right? Like, I keep saying that David is the worst person in the movie, like he is the true villain. Again, he doesn't get checked. At any point, if Neil says it was wild to ask me to sign this contract, at any point it is wild to ask me to sign a contract to marry your daughter. At any point, if Neil had turned to David and said, she will need help when I'm gone, you should have her move back in with you so she can reacclimate. If at any point David had said, hey, Beth shoved me through a champagne tower and she stole money from you, do you think maybe you should like disown her or something so she gets her shit together, bro? No one does that. No one does that for David because he is the rich man trope. All right, and a lot of king characters, a lot of emperor characters, a lot of ruler characters just play the rich man trope. They play the authoritarian rich man, right? They play the infallible rich man in some cases, right? Oh shit, I didn't see that they sent in a Yamper. Still some solid damage. I'm kind of glad I stayed in. Yeah, that works. Sure. Revenge. Okay. Alright, well that's rude. In hindsight, I should have given you a cherry berry. The rich man's trope is often used to highlight, again, that sometimes you don't, like, life is not what you want it to be. Like, oftentimes you don't get what you want. A lot of kabuki shows take place like that, where a rich man, a rich merchant is traveling, and it's only by the grace of a wayward sage that they manage to be saved the first time, but they don't take that sage's advice and they keep doing their dumb shit, and they end up, like, dying. Like, I think one of them, quite literally, the story of the Ebi no Ona, or the Ichikoko? I think it's the woman with the eye in the center of the serpent's head. Essentially, she ends up, you know, what she does, she waits to strangle you by the wayside. It's a horror story, so it's a cautionary tale about sticking your neck out for, it's a cautionary tale about sticking your neck out, and why you should, and why when someone does, you should be grateful, right? Like, it's a two-way street in that. A lot of kabuki takes a lot of characters into mind and plays them like they're caricatures and tropes. So the idea is that when a sage says, don't go down that back alley road trying to save some time, there's a demon over there, and you say, well, I didn't get attacked by the demon last time, so I'll probably be okay. That's a recipe to be attacked by the demon, right? Like, just because something bad didn't happen the first time doesn't mean it won't happen this time, right? That type of cautionary tale. And the rich man is meant to display that, right? So in this case, it could be taken a couple ways. My personal interpretation of this story is that the big thing that needs to happen is more people need to get slapped. David needs to get slapped way earlier. David needs friends that aren't the man he's trying to make his daughter marry, and also the students he's paying to go to college for. Like, they can't be the students he has on scholarship. Those can't be your friend, Dave. Like, you gotta have an older friend group that can say, hey, your daughters are buck fucking wild. Get your shit together, my brother. Your daughter's been in Ibiza every week. That's a $3,000 flight, like, fucking business. Or sorry, whatever it's called to fly second class or whatever. And she's going first class to buy handbags and then come back. She doesn't work. She's wasting money. Like, someone slapping the shit out of a rich man solves a lot of stories, which is why they exist in the story. Oftentimes, it is to slap them. Brendan Lee Mulligan loves having a rich man get slapped, right? It's very rare that they are actually cool. And in some cases, like in Star Trek Odyssey, where, like, it's a cold galaxy out there, they're just, some of them are not necessarily cool, but, like, hey, we meet mutual needs and we will continue to function like we do. The rich man's heiress, or rather the heir trope, has potential to be devoid of any of the drama of the rich man or the rich person trope, right? The idea of money and wealth is inherently separate from being an heir. An heir, you could be the heir to a car wash company, right, and not be a millionaire. You can be the heir to an Atlas, right? You can be an heir to Generation Trauma. You can be an heir to a Compass, right? Like, what is left to you is property for you to acknowledge and accept. The Lara Croft movies were rooted in being an heir, right? Like they are there to be a story about this young girl living up to a legacy. Same with Uncharted. A lot of, I would argue, the Transformer sagas, which are about picking up what other generations have left off, kind of feel like that. And in this case, you know, the heir trope is further refined for romance and is hyper focused on a woman and a woman's role in the movie, so to speak. So not a woman's role in the relationship, rather, but like it focuses on a woman actor like giving a performance of her life in only like a minute, but it really highlights something that you hear about in theater terms, but not often in movies. You don't need to show, you need to tell, right? The character that shows up in the third act of this would-be movie is only mentioned in the second act. She's not mentioned at all in the first one because all of that is supposed to be focused on the relationship between Neil and Kira, right? Like, and Beth technically, but ultimately that's where it's rooted. Is I kind of want to get that. Oh, what's this? Oh, I got 3 great balls. Oh, this is a tenny. Oh, I was going for that exclamation point, not the pseudo-ludo. Ultimately, the story itself continues to hype up this character until she's revealed, and Neil never once mentions her, right? So, one, she's separate from the idea of the rich man's daughter. From like she's very clearly hardworking. She is trying to better her company, both for her father and herself. And she's appreciative of space, and they're investing in like not just scholarships, but like the future of humanity or whatever is the sell. And inside of that, you have this almost open letter, I want to say, to... Oh, that's right, they used block on me, I forgot. Pokeball! No! I'm gonna use knockoff? I didn't use a move that time. Oh. Woo! Had to lock in for a second. So when we look at the heir, we have to remember that the look at the heir. When we look at the heiress or the heir estate, heir to an estate character, you have to understand that where you meet them in their inciting incident or in their story, as it matters to our protagonist or the character we're reviewing, really does matter. So in Daisy Nash's case, let's use her as an example, stay with this. We watch her come into play right as she is learning about Neil's return and his massive success. We should assume that she only knows that about him. The minute she displays more information than we expect her to be privy to, even if we have our own inklings, the director, the writer, whoever is correcting that character course, is showing us verbatim that she is going to match the intensity of the prodigy that we met earlier, or at the very least, match the intensity of the smartest person we've seen thus far. In this instance, we're talking about Daisy Nash, so we're talking about her matching the energy of a prodigal genius in Neil Wade, right? Like our protagonist. So let's review. Ultimately, we talked about a lot here. We talked about a Buck Wild series, but ultimately what we're talking about is practice, right? Practice telling stories and practice writing them, practice performing them. These series do a really good job. Soap operas, vertical dramas, Telemundo, not Telemundo, that's a network. Telenovelas, wrestling stories. Like, these series really do a good job of
Hold on, I gotta think of the name for this Sudowoodo. I'm gonna name it Mahogany. Mahogany. Add to my party because we have a glaring weakness to Pokemon of its type. Yeah, let's leave the bug behind for the fire type gym, huh? Alright, party's growing steadily. Feeling good about that. Hopping on the bike. Let's review. So we've talked about a number of tropes here today. All of these tropes can be found in a number of stories, and even then, these tropes are defined by me, right? Remember that ultimately all of these criticisms are I thought Monica just screamed my name. She was laughing. That's hilarious. These tropes ultimately are means of carrying your story forward. And if you're thinking about writing a character and saying, oh, I just want it to be original, I really want it to be original, it's important that these characters are original, remind you that you're pulling from the grand universe of information. And that universe has been tapped so thoroughly, and it still has a bottomless connection of information to be able to put these combinations together, right? These tropes can take place in any number of ways, and if you put them back together in a different way, it becomes a completely different story, right? If you make the undercover genius astronaut a woman who's being treated like shit by her husband, the story is completely different. It becomes just like another one terrible Hollywood movie about a woman written by a man. But two, it becomes a story about this woman who does get her power back, but it's like, why didn't she claim it so much earlier? She's this brilliant astrophysicist who's like proficient in Krav Maga or whatever, right? Like, okay. And then the other side of that is that oh, I have to go to sleep. My bad. The ultimate sauce is that these stories help us work through moral, philosophical, and in some cases infrastructural problems by putting together potentials and a hypothesis that we may not have ever known, you know? And this story was buck wild, because why the fuck you only own 2 pairs of shoes? That's all. About to end her whole career. Bye. Oh, I need to also update all of this. All right, we caught a Chinchou. Its nickname is Chinelbo. We battled Nessa. We won. Uh-oh. I didn't realize it swapped to more Peko. I was paying attention. I didn't mean to hit A. Oh, okay. When she said she thought it really expressed her feelings, I thought she was going to use Aura Wheel, but she just used Bite. Kick you in the face? I mean, how do I want to deal with this? What has the highest defense? Check something. Defense 50, 28, 23, 69. Nice! 31, 37, 50. Okay. Now, the other side of this is that I think grass resist electric, so we're going to see if we can't catch them off guard on aura wheel attack. But it may not know it yet. I mean, who knows? Anyway, marking the victory here. Oh, nice. Yes, we at least blocked a thunder shock. Switch my active team, mark the victory. In Galar Mine, we caught a Krogunk, which we added to the team immediately. Removing Stuffle. Oh, get out of here. Also removing House Mom. We added Chinchou, and we added... Oh, wait. We had Chinchou, and we had... Tot on the team. Oh, wait. We'll go ahead and use Taunt. Don't. It seems like they're just going for damage. That's a waste of a turn. Swap to Wily Wick. And real quick, I'm going to finish adding these Pokemon to my team. Add to team. Okay. Just to mark the victory against... Oh, she healed. Okay, thanks. Yeah, please. Get revenged, idiot. Oh, we fucking flinched? Wily Wick, please. I was gonna say, you can't eat those endlessly. Beautiful. Alright, we beat Bede, and then we caught a Sudowoodo. Very fortunate. We are battling Marnie now. Big level up for the team. Welcome back. Oh, Scratchy's coming out. Whoa. Fuck. I forgot this fight happened, otherwise I would have brought my Dottler. Okay, let's look at the chat. It's been a while. Alright, greenies are good. There's a vertical drama. Nice! And selling soaps. In the Vampire Diaries, they once completely broke the fourth wall. Talk about AT&T, I saw that. Well, that's set up. To be fair, probably should be a fighting move. It should. Mentioned that earlier. Sounds like solid logic so far. That was a pristine use of 2 + 2 = fish. Thank you. Hating a character means the actor did such a good job. Fully agree, Kara. Excuse me. Classic tennis elbow, for real, for real. For storytelling in D&D, I like making awful, horrific villains. Then when the players confront the villain, they're actually very chill and cool guy who isn't aware of the atrocities. That's funny. Did I ever send you the link of a video about the Netflix cinematic universe of the Christmas Prince? Because the description would make an excellent video in a format like that. Oh, okay. And thank you for the excellent description comment. I have no idea what series this is. I'm invested as it's still leveraged. The same person was my guess. The people of Little Caesars wins immediately. He was a wonderful man. He did indeed pay for Rosa Parks' rent. Glad you had... Oh, you had veggies. I did not have dinner yet. I'll be eating here shortly. It's fucking crazy. It is crazy. Classic tennis elbow. Classic Chinchou. Bad husband. Banging bod. Really funny to read back to back. Learned so much and I still haven't seen it. It's why SNL exists too now. That's what I think about it. To give comedians a platform to jump off into movies. I totally agree with that. Yeah. A lot of heat in the chat, too. All right. Marnie defeated. Team different. We had Sudowoodo and Krogunk on the team. All right. All right, you can catch a Pokemon in Motostoke Stadium. I forgot there was an encounter there. All right, Grookey evolved into Thwackey a while ago too, so we're going to mark that down. Rookity evolved into Corvisquire. And that is it. Krogunk is named Wily Wick. Wily Wick. And Sudowoodo is named Mahogany. Oof, yeah, losing lags. Or losing frames real hard. Sorry about that, chat. We should be about back to normal now. Just updating the Nuzlocke sheet. Alright, and we're in for a tough fight at the gym that I think I'm going to tackle tomorrow. The Pokemon should be healed. Yeah. Alright. Kabu himself is a threat. The gym challenge is not. But again, we will deal with it tomorrow. It has been so much fun. Thank you all so much for joining me. I had a blast yapping about this stupid vertical Korean drama, basically. I will be talking with you again tomorrow. Please sure to join us in the morning for another music stream. We'll be running a music stream every morning if we bandwidth willing. We will be running a playlist of music curated by yours truly, either of other people's music or of my own, revealing new songs it's time to time. And tomorrow evening, I believe we will be missing tomorrow's stream, but Thursday we have one scheduled, and then we'll be back again Saturday night as well as Sunday morning. So be on the lookout for all those to hit the YouTube scheduling, and in general, be on the lookout for a couple invites to things like Discord and many other things. So glad you all can make it. I hope you had a great time. But for now, I'm going to say osu and good night.